Welcome to another podcast of Andile Mngxitama Speaks. Please subscribe so that we generate those numbers and you are able to follow us in the next coming episodes. Today, we're going to talk about a matter that has occupied the imagination of the nation for a while. These are Zamas. Who are Zamas? How they operate, and how do we deal with the criminality that comes with these Zamas? Basically, Zamas are normally former mine workers who have been retrenched and are loitering around and ending up scavenging from disused mines, scavenging for gold or other minerals. They actually go deep under the mines and mine. They stay underground sometimes for over a month. There's a whole economy and life underground where some people supply the food, the water, some medication sometimes, and even the gear. Other people are laborers. There's a whole economy linked to outside where you have people who are the security, providing security, and then processing. And then it becomes more complicated with basically exchange, selling. There are bulk buyers who come and buy these materials, these minerals from these miners. The whole value chain actually leads up to Switzerland and to the Arab Emirates, Dubai, basically. The mines, the minerals which are mined in these shelved, unused mines end up in Switzerland and in Dubai. Miners who simply go underground and dig have no connection to Dubai or Switzerland. So they are not aware of the value chain that they are part of. They are just trying to survive. And they are put in a situation where criminality is the order of the day. And this criminality, this underground, literally underground and underground operations, breeds criminality and antisocial behavior. We as a nation were shocked when reports came out that 8 young women were gang raped in the West End by these Zamas. Apparently, they are terrorizing the whole community in this West End area. They are highly armed and they have huge ammunition and they have really big guns. If you see some of the videos where they demonstrate their capacity for violence. And then, of course, when they come into the settlements, they unleashed a reign of terror. They've become an organized criminal syndicate that perpetuates its order to violence. Violence against other gangs, violence against the communities. But they're only getting the leftovers of the criminal activities which run up to Switzerland and we say, as you say, the Arab Emirates. They are basically involved in an economy of 14 billion rand a year. 14 billion rand a year. That's how big this economy is. And there are about, it is said, 30,000 illegal miners. I mean, the mining, the formal mining situation, basically hires about 400,000 people, 450,000 at the most. So 30,000 of those who fall out of the system find themselves eking out a livelihood as Zamas. And to become a Zama, you get plugged into a criminal syndicate, a criminal network. And deviance become part of the culture of Zama. Deviance, antisocial behavior, criminality becomes the organizing culture. So how are we going to stop the Zamas? Because so long as there is a market, there's going to be Zamas. And these Zamas are going to continue in this way. You can arrest a few this year. Next year they'll be back. And we know that at times they even operate very openly around the roads where they are sifting this soil to get to the gold or whatever mineral they are searching for. They have overwhelmed, in a sense, all these disused mines. Criminalizing them is not going to work. So what we need is a policy move which will cut the middlemen and bring to the surface the Zamas themselves through a process of legal buying their produce and getting them registered to operate a small-scale artisanal miners. In other words, decriminalizing the Zama operations. This will bring them into the formal system, and in this way they'll be regularized, and in this way the state will know where they are, what kind of operations are going, and not only that, regularize the prices as well, and in this way cut the antisocial criminal behavior. But of course, the biggest hand that must be cut is the hand of the higher end buyers, the ones that are able to take the Zama produce, mix it with legitimate produce. So the white monopoly capital is the actual buyer of the Zama gold, Zama produce. And it gets this very cheap because it does not pay wages. It does not have to care about safety. It does not have to care about tax. It just gets these minerals which are produced by the Zamas and then enter into the formal system and make super profits. The real culprits here, the real criminals, is white monopoly capital, which is making a killing out of the Zama economy. The Zamas are simply Zaming. However, because they operate in an illegal system, in an illegal environment, this creates massive culture of illegality and crime and antisocial behavior. I mean, it is unacceptable that those men would attack these young women like that. They're behaving like animals because indeed their conditions are subhuman. They're operating outside of society. They're operating outside of laws and norms. They're operating through brute force, and where they know their own lives are not safe. You know, a dehumanized person acts his dehumanization against others. Somebody who lives through violence all the time relates to others through violence as well. We have to end the Zama criminality by ending the practice of scavenging for gold and for minerals in these mines as a criminal activity. Because we know that there's so much money in there that they're even able to buy the whole police. I mean, our people in the Western tells the stories of how the police operates with them. They have seen them giving money to the police. The police will come, stand there for a while, and drive off without investigating the matters which the people are complaining about. It is a reign of terror. Even the shootings that happened in Orlando, in the tavern there, it is said that it is a Zama move. So the Zamas just come into a tavern, open fire, kill people. Well, they operate like that because it is their culture to kill, to stop yourself from being killed. They live with death, and therefore they transport death into the community. We have to stop that whole system of violence and criminality by bringing it up into a policy perspective that recognizes the Zama as legitimate miners and sell their produce not through middlemen, but directly to a state buying institution which will give them a fair value. And not only that, start thinking about how to look at matters of safety and security and registration of those who are operating in that informal economy. We have no other way to deal with this other than bring it up to light. And in this way, we'll be able to deal with the criminality and stop the flow of money outside of the country. Because Zama economy is an international economy that benefits international real super thugs. And we are faced here with the consequences of this criminalized economic survival mechanism. These are survivalists who are involved in activities which are criminalized, and therefore they become criminal. And they have now adopted the culture of criminality, and they are exposing it and transposing it into the community and harming the people around where these people operate. The Zamas must be normalized to end the Zama economy as activity of criminality. And we must go after the real big boys who are making the biggest profits out of this economy, which is driven by criminality. Yes, let's stop the crime. Let us legalize Zamas, and let us have a policy process that will make sure that they get a fair share from their labor, and also make sure that there's a humanization process that goes on. In this way, we can end the violence and also make sure that our communities are safe. Isolate.